So, Sue Bird, one of the greatest WNBA players of all time, chimed in on the Rookie of the Year race. And I'm going to talk about this because obviously it is news. And I will say one thing. Of all the players that have realistically not said anything negative about Caitlin Clark, Sue Bird's one of them. I think Sue Bird, a lot of people took offense to the fact that Sue Bird said she would take Paige over Caitlin Clark. This is UConn talk. UConn will always take a UConn player over a non-UConn player. Like, that doesn't mean anything. But Sue Bird, when asked about Rookie of the Year, she said something which I fully stand by. But I do think there is obviously a different perspective. I think almost every power forward that we've heard talk, every big has said Angel Reese. I don't actually think there's an argument. I don't think anyone's watching the games can really make that argument. But every single guard, I think every single guard in the WNBA that doesn't play for Chicago Sky will say Caitlin Clark's the Rookie of the Year. Heck, we even heard Lexi Brown. She was number one Caitlin Clark hater. And then as soon as she plays Caitlin Clark, going Gilbert Arenas show, being like, no, she's the Rookie of the Year. No, she is. It's her. She was the first thing on the scouting report. She beat us. She had 30 on us. No, it's Caitlin. But, yeah, so this is what Sue Bird said. I have Caitlin as Rookie of the Year. I don't do the stat comparisons. It can help when things are close. I just do the eye test, and to me, Caitlin Clark is Rookie of the Year. And ironically, my favorite part about it all is that the people, you see it from some people are being like, oh, the stats back up Angel Reese Rookie of the Year. What stats? Caitlin Clark literally leads, is ahead. As far as I'm aware, she leads all rookies in points, assists, steals, blocks. Not blocks per game. Or, yeah, I think blocks total, maybe. Maybe it's Cardoso, but she's top 2 or 3 in blocks. Maybe Brink, to be fair, still has more blocks. But she's ahead of Angel in points, assists, steals, blocks, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage, effective field goal percentage, true shooting percentage, assist to turnover ratio. Obviously is higher in turnovers as well, and lower in rebounds. The literal only stat she's behind Angel Reese in his rebounds, while also Caitlin Clark leads all guards in the WNBA for rebounds. So the only stat she's not ahead in is a stat that obviously no guard has ever led any league in history in rebounds, but she's also leading the WNBA in guards and rebounds. So the only way you can argue for Angel is the eye test, and I also don't think you can really argue that. And that's the worst part about it is, this should not be a debate. It actually shouldn't. Because I don't think in good faith people are making this argument. Like, if you even look at, say, more talk, I've seen since the All-Star game, people flip. I've seen rankings that had Caitlin Clark first before the All-Star game flip to Angel Reese. I've seen rankings that had Angel Reese first before the All-Star game flip to Caitlin Clark. Neither of them will play the game. Like, if you don't know, Angel Reese going viral in Paris at the Olympics swayed some people's idea of the Rookie of the Year. Because I think for the vast majority of people, when they're talking on media, are not watching the games. Like Stephen A. Smith. I don't think Stephen A. Smith is on TV nearly 24/7. The man does not watch sports. He doesn't. When Stephen A. Smith is at an NBA game, people have videoed him. He's not even watching the game. He's on his phone. He's making business deals. He is a TV personality who's in the sports sphere. Stephen A. Smith does not watch sports. The likes of Skip Bayless do not watch sports. Paul Pierce has not watched a WNBA game in I don't know how long. I'm convinced Shannon Sharp watched a couple of WNBA games in like the 90s to maybe early 2000s. So he knows all the legends. I don't think he's watched a game. I'm not entirely sure how, like, I remember when Dawn Staley was talking and she goes, I think it's Angel because, well, it's going to be whoever's team makes the playoffs, so I think it's going to be Angel. When at that time, the Fever were a game ahead of the Sky. So I don't think she's watching the games either. Like, I don't think the vast majority of people that are talking about this are watching the games. And I think if you're watching the games, and like, the easiest thing to do is say what Sue Bird says, like, well, it's eye test. I don't look at the stats. But the stats are the one, like, the only way, you can't argue stats-wise that Caitlin Clark isn't ahead. In every single weird advanced metric that matters, not even a weird advanced metric, in every single metric that matters, you can find the kitchen sink probability variable that can probably tell you that Celeste Taylor is the best rookie in the WNBA. Because I remember looking at the stats where it's like so many of the weird advanced stats that said Caitlin Clark is the 6th best rookie in the W after a month. I looked at those stats, and those stats, if you add those 4 stats, it's not Angel Reese that's rookie of the year, it's Celeste Taylor. I'm not joking. And it's not even like Kate Martin's like 3rd. Like these weird analytics that people are trying to throw at you have Angel Reese in 2nd to in between Celeste Taylor and Kate Martin. So I'm like, okay. It's literally the way that those stats work. The more you have the ball in your hands, the worse you're going to be. The more shots you, like not even more shots take, the more you have the ball in your hands. So it's like a negative. It's a negative to have the ball in your hands. These stats basically mean point guards are the most useless players in the world. But again, they're the only way you can argue it. Like I don't think this race is only close because the media wants it to be close. Everyone's talking about AJ Wilson being a unanimous guaranteed MVP. Rebecca Lobo questioned whether or not it'll be unanimous at the All-Star break, and they've accused her of being the person who voted AJ Wilson 4th place last year. So, like, that's it. It's like, you are being accused of hating on AJ Wilson if you're saying it's not going to be unanimous. But if you look at the bookies' odds, the odds of AJ Wilson winning MVP are the exact same as the odds of Caitlin Clark winning Rookie of the Year. And 80% of all bets are on Angel Reese to win Rookie of the Year. So, the bookies are not going... 80% of the bets have been someone who has been around plus 800, plus 900 all year. The bookies are not going to lose a record amount of money. And the only chance Caitlin Clark has of losing Rookie of the Year is if she gets injured or absolutely shits the bed the second half of the year, averages 5-5. And I'm not like... Or Angel Reese comes out, averages 20-12, and the Chicago Sky climb up to 6th and the Indiana Fever drop out of the playoffs. That's the only way it can happen. The only way it can happen is if Angel Reese racks off the best 15 games a rookie has ever played in the history of the WNBA while Caitlin Clark takes a step back. Or Caitlin Clark plays the second half of the season like she's Erica Wheeler and Angel Reese keeps doing like what she's doing. They're the only 2 scenarios that this Rookie of the Year race isn't a formality. So Sue Bird saying that Caitlin Clark passed the eye test, of course she does. Sue Bird's a point guard. Sue Bird said it herself 2 years ago that Caitlin Clark is a mixture between herself and Diana Taurasi, and that she could be one of the greatest ever. Like she said it 2 years ago, before all the weird Caitlin Clark hate last year. She said it herself. And she's a guard. She's obviously going to think that way. But it shouldn't matter what these guards think. Like, you're hearing Shaq talking about it, and he doubles down, being like, no, Angel's Rookie of the Year. Man, you got Angel Reese into Reebok. You don't watch the games. So, yeah, it's a weird one. Either way, it's not close. Let's be real. Regardless of what anyone says, this isn't... Sue Bird saying it is not validation. Heck, 90% of the media have answered Angel Reese, but that doesn't mean that it's even a close race, to be honest.